Hello, and welcome to Matador News. I'm Stephanie Murguia.
And I'm Aarica Roberson. A new addition to CSUN Spring Sports has just been announced. Sand volleyball will be the 19th intercollegiate sport led by head coach Jeff Stork.
Matador News reporter Shanade Garcia is live with more.
Thank you. Joining us today is head coach of the volleyball team, Jeff Stork. Can you tell us a little bit about what sparked the idea of sand volleyball team?
Well, sand volleyball became an emerging sport for the NCAA about the idea probably 5 to 6 years ago, and I was very interested at that time, but the president wasn't, the previous president wasn't ready to get in another emerging sport with the funding issues that athletics had at the time. With the new president and the new athletic director, I think their vision is to expand athletics, and they revisited the idea of having a sand team. It's basically at no cost to the university. It's all privately funded. The facility that we're looking or anticipating to build is going to be all private donations. The operational budget is going to be off of donations. And it was just another opportunity to expand our athletic department with another team that could be successful early. And we have a lot of quality players, and we think we're going to be successful with it.
And will you be hosting any tryouts?
Well, currently we're going to be using all of our indoor players. We plan on expanding past that in later years. You know, the indoor player and the sand player are slightly different. The sand player must be much more well-rounded. They don't have to be or have quite the size of an indoor player. The indoor player is much more specific in what they do, although it's nice to have big and good versus small and good. But we see probably 3 to 5 years teams separating out and being competitive in both indoor and sand.
Okay, thank you very much, Jeff, for joining us, and back to you.
Ukraine's capital once again embattled after a truce failed between government, police official, and opposition leaders. The Interior Ministry says 67 policemen are being held hostage by anti-government activists. Video footage on Ukrainian television showed scenes of protesters being attacked by gunfire. Protesters tossed firebombs and moved up to police lines, forcing government snipers to react fast and shoot back. On Thursday, a medical coordinator for the protesters says at least 70 activists have been killed and hundreds have been wounded in Kiev.
Governor Brown announces a $687 million aid package for drought-stricken families in California. The state declared a water emergency after the lack of rain last month. Governor Brown says the money will go to many areas.
The state capitol and the state legislators are providing money for drinking water, for housing, for food, and for water conserving technologies.
Critics say the relief aid package does not include long-term water projects, including building water storage facilities. Some CSUN students say they are planning to start conserving water.
I haven't showered in 23 days.
Simple things like when you're washing the dishes, you make sure you turn it off as you're soaping.
Now that I think about it, I feel like I need to change my lifestyle.
I'm not washing my car at home, so I'm not wasting that water. I'm not watering the plants no more, let them dry up, you know.
NASA released a statement saying the drought can only be seen from space as a big brown patch of Earth.
Hundreds of South and North Korean relatives reunite after being separated by the Korean War. After more than 60 years of separation, relatives who are now in their 70s see this as a miracle. South Korean relatives were chosen through a lottery system, while North Korea was more political. 72,000 people are on waiting lists to reunite, but most are already over 80 years old. Relatives brought medicine, gifts, and food to their families. The reunion only lasts a few hours before separating families once again. The emotional event took place at the North's Mount Kumgang Resort this week.
Traveling in LA is about to get a lot easier for Metro rail riders. Los Angeles transportation officials say they will be accepting a $670 million grant. The funds are part of a project to make LA commuters more connected by 2020. The Downtown Rail Project will connect LA County's furthest reaching light rail lines So in the future, passengers of the Metro Blue, Gold, and Expo lines who now have to take 2 or more trains will have straightaway trips. Passengers will be able to travel from Long Beach to Pasadena or East LA to Santa Monica without changing trains.
Metrolink becomes the first commuter rail network to implement a safety collision avoidance technology system. The system will track the train's speed, position, alert if a red light was run, and slow the train down if it's in trouble. After the 2008 Deadly Chatsworth Collision Rail Safety Improvement Act mandated the safety system be installed. Other commuter rail networks are expected to install the system by 2020. Metrolink's member agencies will be paying half of the $216 million price tag. Metrolink will install the safety system by 2015.
One Northern California resident is very rich today, but we don't know who. The single winner of the Powerball worth over $425 million has still not come forward, a day after the winning numbers were announced. The numbers were drawn on Wednesday evening, and California lottery officials say the ticket was sold at a Dixon Landing Chevron in Milpitas, a small city right outside of San Jose.
Some CSUN students say they know how they would spend their $425 million.
I will probably keep $100 million and buy property on CSUN and then have a plaque that says, "I'm rich."
Actually go back and help out my parents, you know, because financially we're not so hot.
First thing I would do would buy houses like all over the U.S. and then I would definitely travel all over the world.
I don't know. I think I'll just go to buy some weed first. That's what I'll do, you know.
I'd keep like a large portion of it, but I would like to give it back.
First off, I'd get a nicer apartment out here and probably have a room to myself instead of sharing with 3 other girls.
First, I'd pay off all of my loans for school that I had to take out, then pay off my car payment and give my parents a fat paycheck, and then probably save the rest.
The odds of winning the Powerball are about 1 in 175 million.
It's a lot less windy today than it was last night. We've got clear skies and mild wind this afternoon. The high today is 81, but tonight will get a lot chillier with temperatures going down to the 50s. It will stay nice and warm through the weekend with low 80s and high 70s. The sun will set by 5:40 today. So feel free to wear those short shorts, but be sure to wear lots of chapstick for that dry weather.
One of the world's rarest and cutest species has been captured on camera. Footage of a snow leopard was taken in the mountains of northwest China's province on December 20th and 22nd last year. A Chinese forestry department official released the video. Snow leopards are listed on the International Union for Conservation of Nature's Red List of Threatened Species. Due to poaching and shrinking habitats, their population has decreased to less than 7,000 globally.
And now to Victoria Lopez with business news.
Facebook buys WhatsApp for $19 billion. WhatsApp is a growing text messaging application with 450 million users around the world. Facebook will pay a $4 billion in cash and $12 billion in stock. WhatsApp employees and founders will receive an additional $3 billion in restricted stocks grants over the next 4 years. The acquisition reflects Facebook's new strategy to create a family of applications. The purchase gives Facebook access to customers who prefer communication in small groups. The Facebook stock fell 5% hours after the purchase. Gap Apparel is raising the hourly wage to $10 following the new minimum federal wage order, but huge retailer Walmart is maintaining a neutral stance. Spokeswoman Brooke Buchanan says 99% of their store employees already earn more than federal and state wages. An earlier Bloomer report said the corporate giant was in support of the minimum wage order, but Buchanan says that was inaccurate. Colorado's legal marijuana market is doing even better than expected. Officials say retail sales starting from January are strong. A budget proposal released Wednesday plans to spend nearly $100 million next fiscal year on substance abuse prevention and other priorities. The money will come from the state nearly 13% sales tax percentage, recreation marijuana. Officials expect marijuana to bring nearly $200 million in revenue in the first fiscal year. Stocks are on the rise this morning, as a survey shows U.S. manufacturing is expanding at its fastest pace in almost 4 years. At last check, the Nasdaq climbed to 30.54, Tesla Motors jumped significantly to 15.80, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average was up to 100.34. On the other hand, the price of gold is up 1.38. And now back to you.
Now let's take a look at health with Sal.
Thank you, Stephanie. Japan's Fukushima Daiichi power plant is in deep water again. A holding tank has leaked over 100 metric tons of radioactive water. Tokyo Electric Power Company, or TEPCO, says they were able to stop the leak. TEPCO also says they believe no water reached the Pacific Ocean. The major earthquake in 2011 hit the power plant hard, and it had caused continuous problem for TEPCO. Vice President Joe Biden says he does not believe the Federal Health Care Act will reach a 7 million sign-up goal. Biden made the brief announcement at a Minneapolis coffee shop.
Although, you know, initially we talked about by the end of this period having 7 million people lined up, we may not get to 7, but we're going to get to 5 or 6, and that's a hell of a start.
Open enrollment under the federal law ends March 31st. Signing up enough individuals is critical for the insurance pool to keep premiums low. Those who do not sign up are subject to tax penalty. And now, back to Aarica.
And now for the latest in entertainment.
Justin Timberlake is not able to perform at Madison Square Garden until Friday night. Timberlake had to postpone last night's concert due to unspecified health concerns. Fans will be glad to hear last night's tickets will still be honored for Friday's show. And now back to you.
Now let's take a look at some sports.
Thank you. We are coming to the last days of the Sochi Winter Olympics, and the U.S. women's hockey team just lost 3-2 in overtime against Canada and won the silver medal. Yesterday, the U.S. men's hockey team beat the Czech Republic 5-2 to move on to the men's semifinal this Friday against Canada. The U.S. is ahead with 25 medals, 8 of them are gold and 6 are silver. Football season is over, but the NFL has other activities for football fans. The NFL Combine begins this Saturday, and over 300 prospects will demonstrate their athletic and football skills to scouts and teams for the chance to get drafted this upcoming May. The Combine will air on the NFL Network. In his first return to Staples Center since signing with the Houston Rockets, Dwight Howard was greeted by boos. The game was close for about the first quarter, but after that, the Rockets were in the driver's seat for the entire game. Howard finished the game with 20 points and 13 rebounds, and the Rockets defeated the Lakers 134-108. CSUN's women's basketball team has won its last 8 of 10 games and will travel to face UC Irvine this Saturday. The last time they met, it was a month ago, and Irvine beat CSUN 83-73. The Lady Matadors are in first place in the Big West Conference, and their game this Saturday is at 4 on ESPN3.
Thank you for watching Matador News. I'm Aarica Roberson.
And I'm Stephanie Murguia. Have a wonderful day.